Today is very auspicious day, appearance day of Sri Virachandra Prabhu and also Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Gosai Maharaj, and disappearance day of Srila Sakhi-Charan Babaji Maharaj. So 3 Vaishnavas, that is why I was singing this song, because here they are in plural. In short, the meaning of this song is Thakura Vaishnavagon, O Vaishnavas, I am submitting this prayer to you. I am greatest wicked, bad activity person, always doing sins, all this. And this rule of karma drowned me in this ocean of material existence with all kinds of sufferings. So, O Vaishnavas, please take me by the hair and pull me out. This providence or law of karma is very powerful. It does not hear about karma, dharma or gyan. Always you will be bound by this karma, and I don't see any means of deliverance. Everywhere I see only miseries. Anata katare teikande, and I am without any shelter, helpless, stricken with grief. I'm crying. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, bewilderment, pride or intoxication, and false pride all together, they are pulling me each to their own direction. I'm like a slave, fulfilling their desires. Such is my mind, like one blind person. I don't know what is right path and what is wrong path. Blind person cannot see, so he does not know where to go. So like that, Oicha Namarmon, like we are singing in the morning, Pita Varana Kolipavana Gora, Gawai Oichana. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing. So Oicha Namarmon, like this is my mind, does not know. I did not accept the association of pure devotees or eternal reality, Supreme Lord, and Vaishnavas, they are also eternal. But instead of that, I immersed my mind, absorbed my mind in non-eternal things, and I never desired your lotus feet, O Vaishnavas. Narottam Das Thakur is singing, wherever I see and what I hear, I only feel fear in all directions. So you please rescue me, save me, and take me near to you. This is the prayer to the Vaishnavas. So today, Sri Virachandra Prabhu, in his Krishna Lila identity, he is Kiroda Kashaya Vishnu. You know, first Krishna is there in Vrindavan, he is the original Supreme Lord, Nandan Krishna. Then his first expansion is Balaram, that is Mul Shankarshan. Then he goes to Dwarka and Mathura and Dwarka. There he is Shankarshan. And there is quadruple expansion. Vasudev means Krishna, Shankarshan Baladev, and Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Then there is further expansion, second one in Vaikuntha, also Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then from this Mahashankarshan in Vaikuntha come 3 Purusha avatars, Karananda Kashai, Mahavishnu. He exhales and innumerable universes come out from him, from his pores, and then he enters into each of these universes as Garbhodakashai Vishnu. Then he further expands into Kshirodakashai Vishnu. He lies on that ocean of milk, and also he enters into the heart of every living entity as indwelling monitor, and also he enters into every atom. He's everywhere present. That Kshirodakashai Vishnu or Paramatma, he became Virachandra Prabhu in Gaur Lila as son of Nityananda. Because Baladev's expansion, it is coming. So he came as his son. Nityananda Prabhu had 2 wives, Vasudha and Jannava. Jannava had no children, but she had many disciples. Vasudha had 2. One is Virachandra's son, and another is Ganga. That is Ganga Devi. So Virachandra is very powerful. He rescued many sinners, atheists, and everyone. He took Diksha from Jannava Mata after seeing her glories, and he also got married with 2 wives, I think. Then, but he had 3 famous disciples who were also then famous as his sons. But Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told, because there is some group who claim that they are Nityananda Bangsha, family of Nityananda. They will say, we have the blood of Nityananda by this family. But Prabhupada told they were not actually his biological sons of Virachandra. They were disciples, and they are coming from different villages and from different family connections. So how they can all be the sons of Virachandra? That is historically proved. But as we see in Chaitanya Bhagavat, there is one prana mantra there to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there Sabrityaya Saputraya. I'm offering my obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with his servants and sons. So how we can understand this? Saputraya, Putra. Mahaprabhu had no sons. So here Putra, the realized acharyas, they have explained, Putra here means disciples, 6 Goswamis. They are like his sons, because Guru's disciple is like his son. He's having affection. So in that sense, they are the sons of Virachandra Prabhu. But they are claiming they are biological sons. And based on that, they are trying to present themselves as superior because we belong to the blood family of Nityananda Prabhu. So we are superior gurus or only gurus, so you have to come to us. But the point is, historically it is proven, and Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there is no biological family from Nityananda. But now it is Kali Yuga, everyone likes to take some advantage from certain things. That is why they are against Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, because he spoke the truth that will ruin their business. So in this way, Virachandra, he performed many pastimes, you will find in the book of Srila Gurudev more details. It's very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very powerful. He rescued many. So on today's day, I am bowing down to him and praying for his causeless mercy. Today is also the disappearance day of one dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Sakhi-Charan Das Babaji Maharaj. He became an orphan, means he lost his parents. In Bangladesh he appeared. So as an orphan, a young boy, he came to Calcutta and got employment with one salt merchant and was working, and his payment was 1 meal per day. No money or like this, but once getting to eat. So in this way he was working in Calcutta, but he was sincere. So gradually he got affection from that merchant, and he also gave him more and more responsibilities and also some payment and like this. So then, you know, historically in Calcutta, there was one cheating made by the government at that time. They created one false emergency, and they also put tax to the salt. So to ruin certain people and to earn more money and like this, that was there. So then there was also revolution. So while this was going on, that salt business of this merchant was not doing good. So he thought, I will not continue with this business. So he gave that whole business to this boy. But after some time, the situation changed, and very quickly, like in a short time, he became very rich by that salt business, very rich. So we cannot imagine that big house in Calcutta and so many things. But he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur even before he took sannyas in Mayapur with Kunja Bihari Prabhu. They met him in Mayapur when Prabhupada was chanting 3 lakhs daily. But there was another one, Gosvami, Vaishnav, means they are claiming this family and like this. So he misled them. He said, yes, Bhaktisiddhanta means Bimala Prasadi is pure devotee Paramahamsa, but you cannot do like him. That is not possible. You do like all we are doing in house and bhajan like this. No one can do like him, so no need to go with him to associate. He was trying to mislead. But after, when that person left, and by Supreme Lord's desire and good fortune, then they again came to Prabhupada after some time, and they surrendered. Kunja Bihari Prabhu and Sakhi-Charan. But he was all the time, he was in household life, Sakhi-Charan, but very renounced. He gave a responsibility for running that business to some persons and sons and like this. But he himself was doing bhajan all the time, chanting Harinam and Diksha Mantra, and also going to Gauriya Math to hear Harikatha, and even traveling with Prabhupada. Like example, like Ambarish Maharaj. He was very rich, cannot imagine, but he himself was doing bhajan, cleaning the temple, doing arati, offering bhog, chanting, everything he was doing with his own hand. And he engaged other ministers and others for that business thing. He also was like that. And he donated for preaching of Prabhupada much during his time for publication and everything. And also he made Bhajan Kutir of Prabhupada in Chaitanya Math. When you enter from this side, if you go from Jogapit, you enter this side, Chaitanya Math. Then first building on the right side, Bhajan Kutir of Prabhupada, Bhakti Vijay Bhavan, that was donated by him. Our Gurudev offers obeisances there, because Bhajan Kutir up you will find of Prabhupada. So he made that, and Prabhupada gave that name, Bhakti Vijay Bhavan. And then later when Jogapit was to be developed, then Prabhupada also requested him for this seva, so he gave for Jogapit Mandir. That is why you will find his deity there in Samadhi. Maybe that is Samadhi or only deity, I'm not sure, maybe Samadhi. Immediately when you enter Jogapit, left side there is Sakhi-Charan Das Babaji Maharaj's deity, and right is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then you enter, because he gave all for that, and all the time doing bhajan, hearing Harikatha and also speaking everything. And also he's not ordinary person. When some days before, I read today in Srila Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj's book that about disciples of Prabhupada, and then also Revati sent me that video. Latika Devi, she is his daughter-in-law. So she, in that book it is written, she heard one time in the house that Sakhi-Charan, he was telling to his wife that I got one dream of Prabhupada, and he ordered me that I should reserve one special train from Calcutta Sheldah to Krishnanagar on that day. And also this much salt will be needed. Then, there it was not mentioned, but here on this video Latika is telling that Prabhupada also told him, I'm leaving now. But in that book it is not mentioned leaving, but this, you do this service for me. You reserve that train, and this much salt is needed. Sakhi-Charan could not understand that time, but he did as was ordered. So then Prabhupada disappeared. So then he understood, oh, that is why, because with that train, all the devotees, they went to Krishnanagar and from there to Mayapur for Samadhi. And for Samadhi you need salt. He's doing salt business. So at that time he could not understand why Prabhupada is telling about salt. Maybe because I have salt business. So then it was confirmed. So even at that time, not directly Prabhupada telling, doing illness pastime, but in dream he gave him this seva. So that seva also he did, and for Samadhi, everything. Then later on, when different acharyas were manifesting, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, today is also his appearance day, he was staying incognito, solitary in Navadip Dham on the other side. No one from Gauriya Math knew where he was. First he was staying in Bagbazar Gauriya Math, but then he left and no one knew where he was. But Sakhi-Charan Prabhu, he was searching for him, and he was asking many people, so giving description like this. So then ultimately he came to know, and he found him there in Navadip, and he told him that this is not good. You are the best disciple of Prabhupada. If you will not serve his mission, then that is not good. He's the best preacher. So then Sakhi-Charan Das Babaji, he bought that first land for Srila Sridhar Maharaj, where now Chaitanya Saraswat Mat is there. So he always got this seva, to serve the Vaishnavas with this monetary and always doing Harinam. Vaishnav Seva and Harinam. So then he took Babaji Vesh, and then his name was Sakhi-Charan Das Babaji. Then he was doing bhajan in Vrindavan Imlitala, there where Mahaprabhu used to chant Harinam. When he was in Vrindavan, from Merkurura Ghat, he was staying. Then he came to Jamuna bank and Imlitala, under that tree, he was chanting and looking Jamuna. So that place, Bhakti Saranga Gosai Maharaj made one mat, and there Sakhi-Charan Das Babaji was doing bhajan with great austerity, intense, only Madhukari, and all the time chanting. And he was never proud, although he was very rich and very famous and everything, but he was never proud. He was only chanting. Then on today's day, he disappeared from this world. So I'm remembering his DT forum there in Jogapit and bowing down to him, praying his causeless mercy. Then also Srila Sridhar Maharaj's appearance days today. He appeared in high class Brahminical family and was very learned from child and initiated into Gayatri, and also he got many realizations when he was young. He understood that or for some scripture he told, if sometimes I could not understand some verse, I knew that Shastra is a living thing. So if I will submit and if I will pray again and again, if I will pray, then that meaning will be revealed. And it happened. And it is true. Our Gurudev also told you have to pray. You have to submit. You cannot understand by your brain or intellect and like this. Shastra is not different from Krishna. Only you can understand through submission, the actual meaning, or the meaning of mantra and all this. It is through submission. So he got many realization, in short, because there is no time, you will find in his biography. Then, and he was learned also academically, philosophy he studied, and also law. He became lawyer and was married, and then his wife died. Before he already met Prabhupada, because when he was searching for Guru, then ultimately he saw him, and he saw in first meeting, when he first saw him, he saw he's not from this world. He's not dependent on anyone in this world. He saw, that was his first impression. Then he became very sincere, although he was very learned, but Srila Puri Gosai Maharaj Bhakti Pramod said, although he was very qualified, learned in all and all good qualities and respect, but I never saw him any kind of pride when he was staying in the mat as a brahmachari, never proud, and doing sincerely all seva. And he was preaching together with Srila Bhakti Hridoy Bongo Sai Maharaj and our Parang Gurudev, Hayagriv Brahmachari. In all places they were preaching. And he wrote many articles for Gauriya magazine and also English Harmonist. And he was, then Bon Maharaj, he told to Prabhupada, you please give him sannyas. He's a very good canvasser, but he's also a very good speaker of Harikatha. So he should also speak in preaching places, Harikatha, so you please give sannyas. And when Prabhupada gave him sannyas, then Ananta Vasudev Prabhu and others, they noticed that Prabhupada was very happy when giving him sannyas, and gave the name Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Gosai Maharaj. Then they opened that Madras Gauriya Math, And then also Mumbai, our Gurudev used to remember this all the time, that one MP engineer, in Harikatha also you will find in recordings, he told, you opened one big mud there in Madras. Why people of Bombay should be deprived? You open one mud here also. So I have one Theosophical Society and many dignitaries and other important persons of the city, they are coming. So if you would come and give lecture, then they will come to know of you. Then Parangure said, yes, God sent you for this. So they went and Sridhar Maharaj spoke, and for 1 hour he spoke how one cannot attain Supreme Lord because he is infinite. Finite being, we are finite being. How can know infinite? If finite being can know infinite, then he will lose his infinite position. So absolute is unknown and unknowable. This is concluded. You will find in Harikatha of Sridhar Maharaj, sometimes he's mentioning this. Unknown and unknowable. Then that MP engineer, because they fixed time, he said, okay, I understand your point, but then why you took sannyas and doing so much penance, so much effort? Why? Then Sridhar Maharaj said, time was over, so if you give more time, then I can tell. Then Sridhar Maharaj told, yes, if finite can know infinite, then he will become finite. But if infinite cannot make himself known to finite, then also he will not be infinite. He will be lacking this capability. Is unlimited. So if by his grace, by his revelation, we can know, then he will not lose his position. That is possible for him. So to attract his grace, to receive his revelation, we are doing this bhakti, surrender. So in this way, so then preaching also in Mumbai started, and he was also in charge in some places like in Delhi and Kurukshetra and so many seva did. And you remember when Prabhupada wanted to install deities in Sarbo Gauriamat, he was engaged to prepare the deities for installation. So I heard in his Harikatha, he said, I did everything, and also because that was his first time to do, otherwise some other was engaged for this. So he knew that generally Prabhupada will give tulsi to the lotus feet of deity. But now Prabhupada was very old already and not so strong physically. So I thought, let me put tulsi also on the feet so that everything will be ready. And I did not say any mantra for offering. That Prabhupada will say, I did not do. But then when Prabhupada entered, then Prabhupada declared, oh, already Krishna is here, already appeared. Because of the devotion of Sridhar Maharaj, he could not hold himself back. He had to take that service. And he came. And Prabhupada mentioned this in magazine and everywhere, and Sridhar Maharaj was sorry. Then he asked Parangurudev, you please tell to Prabhupada that I am begging for forgiveness for my offense. I did not know. I did something which was Prabhupada had to do, but I please forgive for offense. Then Prabhupada told to Parangurudev, no, he did not commit any offense. Because whatever surrendered soul does, he cannot commit any offense. Surrendered soul can never commit any offense because their target is satisfaction of Krishna. How they will do something which is displeasing to Krishna or Guru. Then Parangurudev was very happy and he came to Sridhar Maharaj and said, Prabhupada gave you a very nice certificate that you are a surrendered soul. And Prabhupada also wanted to send him to Western countries to preach. But Sridhar Maharaj humbly declined. He said, I am not very good with meeting so many people and these things, it is not in my nature. And also I have difficulty in understanding their language, intonation, pronunciation. So I think if you order me, then I will go. Sridhar Maharaj told in Harikatha, if you order, then I will go. But this is my hesitation. I think I will not be very much successful if I go. Then Prabhupada accepted and he sent. Then later, I think that Professor Nishikanta Sanyal, he told to Sridhar Maharaj, you know why Prabhupada wanted to send you in West? Because he has full trust in you that you will not be converted. For that reason. Then Sridhar Maharaj said, yes, no one can convert me from the lotus feet of Prabhupada. But later on in his life, as you know, so many Western devotees, they came to him from Swami Maharaj's disciples and also other new and from everywhere. And so many Harikathas are there in English, very high class English and very high class realization, answering their question and very sweet, you can hear. So after the disappearance of Prabhupada, first he was in Bagbazar Gauriya Math, then he left, then he was doing bhajan alone in Navadip, then Sakhi-Charan Prabhu, he bought that land and slowly disciples start to come and that developed. And also I forgot to say, when Prabhupada was about to disappear from this world, he requested Srila Sridhar Maharaj to sing Shri Rupa Manjari Pada for him. Then Sridhar Maharaj was hesitating because he was not like generally as a Kirtaniya, and he felt I have no nice voice and tune, and he is hesitating. Then understanding his hesitation, that secretary said to another one, Brahmachari, to sing, who was proficient Kirtaniya. Then Prabhupada said, no, I don't want to hear tune. That is not why I asked him. I want to hear his realization, because he has realization of this song. So all disciples of Prabhupada, they understood that he got some special grace of Prabhupada at that time. So he sang, and also at the time of Samadhi, again he sang. And he wrote so many, during the time of Prabhupada already he wrote one song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Prabhupada was very pleased to hear that, and pointing to one verse, Prabhupada told, now I am relieved, because now I know that at least one person will be after me who will present my conclusions. He said this song was not written by him, it was written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur through him, because it is so accurate. So now I am relieved, at least one person will be after me. That is why many his God brothers, they considered him a Shiksha Guru throughout life. Our Parangurudev also, they were preaching together. So Sridhar Maharaj was mainly doing bhajan there in Navadip, not going around so much. But he used to come to our Calcutta Math annual function every year on the invitation of Parangurudev, and he spoke Harikatha. You will find many photos there. There also Gurudev asked him that question. Why you said in Harikatha that we should give up renunciation also? I understand we should give up enjoyment, but why give up renunciation? Then Sridhar Maharaj told, do you own anything? If you own something, then you can enjoy or give up, renounce. But if you don't own, how you can say I renounced? That is not correct. So everything belongs to Supreme Lord. Nothing is ours. How we can say we can renounce anything? For us, natural is only seva. With all articles belonging to Supreme Lord, we will serve Him. Nothing is ours. So enjoyment and renunciation both are unnatural, only seva. And Gurudev also used to remember in relation to Sridhar Maharaj that how one can be humble by coming in contact with superior person, Supreme Lord and his personal associates, then one will automatically be humble. Otherwise it will be hypocritical. One has to see superior person, that reality, then he can be humble. So then also Sridhar Maharaj wrote many books in Sanskrit and Bengali and songs and commentaries, and he translated whole Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu into Bengali and gave commentary. And songs also, Prem Dham, there was and so many songs. And Srila Bhaktinanda Sai Maharaj told me, he was his sevak, that Sridhar Maharaj was saying that our Gurudev also told, whenever you look at his face, you will see that he's thinking something, very meditative. And you will find sometimes in Harikatha, I was hearing, that they are asking something, and then Sridhar Maharaj said, what you ask? My mind was somewhere else. Then he said, because it is my nature, I am always getting new and new meaning of different shlokas. So, because that is unlimited. So that is I'm not so much in this external, but I like this to get new meanings of scriptural verses. That is why Prabhupada also gave him that title, Shastra Nipun, one who is expert in Shastra. So he said, my mind was somewhere else. That is not inattentive, but he was attentive to some revelation came, and he was attentive to that. Oh, so Sai Maharaj told me, he was having realization, and then he was trying to put that in words. And he was trying, but if he was not satisfied, then he would not use, and he was searching and praying like this. Then when he finally came to one verse and he was satisfied, then he started to dance very happily for one verse. Very happily, and then after that Ananda, then he would start another verse like this. So not ordinary, and always every year I told, one time suddenly Sridhar Maharaj said, you saw? No, Sai Maharaj told, I felt some fragrance, which never I experienced before, some out of this world fragrance. Then Sridhar Maharaj asked him, you saw? No, Gurudev, I didn't see. What? So you didn't see? Mahaprabhu was passing now by here with all his associates, and they were doing kirtan. You didn't see? Then he said, no, I didn't see. But he felt that fragrance. So they are realized souls, personal associates. So on today's day, I used to go on today's day to the Chaitanya Saraswati Math, and I also got chance to speak there. First year 5 minutes, second year 10 minutes, and third year I was 6 something. No, second year I got 15 minutes there, and his bhajan kutir is there, and the photo of Prabhupada, which he was worshipping, and his danda and japa mala, they will put on your head, and that chair, and there, very, so the glories of him are unlimited. So I'm remembering his Samadhi Mandir there and Bhajan Kutir, bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy. And we are observing Kartik Vrata, Gajendra Moksa. Yesterday we heard, I offer repeated respects to you, possessor of the insurmountable three gunas, To you who have spiritual qualities appreciated by all persons with qualification, that is, who are qualified, those who are devotees, they can have contact with his qualities. To you who protect the surrendered, to you with inconceivable power of mercy, to you who are not available to persons with material senses. It's material ego, material senses. By that enjoying spirit, you cannot have contact with him. And then, if I got up, second. Nayam Veda Swam Atmanam Yachakyaham Dhiyahatam Tam Durate Mahatmyam Bhagavantam Itosmyaham. I surrender to the Lord of inconceivable power, by whose energy this elephant does not know his own Atma, which is overcome by the conception of false ego. Virachandra Thakur, this Jiva does not know himself, who has been overcome by false conceptions because of the Lord's Maya Shakti. When we become averse to Krishna, then Maya Shakti will envelop us, not forcefully, but it is due to our offense to Krishna. So here Gajendra is knowing this fact, that this Maya belongs to Krishna, is his energy, inconceivable power he has, and by whose energy this elephant does not know his own Atma. So this fact he knows. So I surrender unto him. That is the only way how one can be delivered from Maya. Shri Shuka Uvach Evam Gajendram Upavarnita Nirvishesham Brahmadayo Vidalingam Vida Vimanah Naitayadopasa Sripur Nikhilatmakatvat Tatra Kilamara Mayo Harir Avira Sit. So this was the last verse, Gajendra, in his prayer. Bhagavantam itosmyaham. I am surrendering to him. Shukadev Goswami said, thus, when the devatas who identify themselves by characteristic marks did not come to rescue Gajendra, who described the Lord beyond material perception, the Lord himself, the personification of all devatas, appeared, since he is the Atma of all beings. Here Virachandra Thakur, the devatas like Brahma, appointed by the Lord to protect the righteous, did not come, because they were unable to protect Gajendra, who described the non-material form of the Lord, that is Nirvishesham. They identified themselves with various characteristics, like having a swan carrier, or Airavat as a carrier, that is elephant of Indra, or being a creator or king of heaven. They thought, Gajendra has not praised us at all, but rather belittled us, calling us minor expansions, in verse 22. So let the Supreme Lord whom he praised come for him, but he will not appear immediately. We know it is hard to attain. No, we know it's hard to attain by his nature. We know he is hard to attain. Therefore the elephant will die. When they showed such indifference out of false identity, false ego, the Lord at that moment appeared there, since he knows the minds of all beings. The Lord is all devatas. The devatas did not know that just as the leaves are watered by watering the root of a tree, so by praising Vishnu, all devatas are praised. Here, Gurudev explained that they had some vanity and they felt insulted. He's only speaking about Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord. He did not ask us for any help. If he would call us, we could come, but he's not asking us. So, and always Supreme Lord, as if we are nothing. He ignored us, neglected us, disrespected us. So, let him die, because Supreme Lord will not come. He is not so easy to attain. So, let him die. They thought like that. But it is to give us teaching. Here it is mentioned, Vishwanath Chakravarti, if one is worshipping Supreme Lord, he is actually worshipping all properly. No need to separately worship or serve anyone, because he is at the root. So here it is shown that really Gajendra satisfied Supreme Lord and really he took shelter of him. That is why Krishna is inside his heart. He knew what is going on and that he is sincere, so he came to rescue him, and in front of demigods he will do, as we will hear tomorrow, intentionally in front of them. Then they also became ashamed and they also praised Supreme Lord and Gajendra. We'll hear this tomorrow.